So it's getting cold out. It's actually supposed to get to freezing tonight, a little bit below. So it's definitely past time to winterize the travel trailer and water tanks and everything else. So we're just going to go through, what I normally do. Going to be going around the bottom, make sure there's no gaps. I mean, you can see here all the gaps that have formed or that I just filled in. Going to be using the spray foam around here, basically seal up the bottom of it. We have an issue with the gray tank, the valve in the gray tank. We leave it open, so we get little particles of food and stuff in there, keeps that valve from closing all the way for the winter. And then we got to go around to all the tanks and the firefighting tanks, get them emptied out and make sure there's no water in the hoses, all that kind of stuff. We'll go ahead and we'll get to that later because that's just simple. Open up the valve and let it drain out. Kind of sucks to waste all of it, but we don't really have all that much time to try to water things and anything like that. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and tackle the travel trailer first. So we'll get right to it. So the first thing I did with winterizing is I had to clean out the valve here for the gray water because we leave it open, and over time little food particles and stuff like that would get down into the track that it sits. And then when you close it, say like when I go to dump the black tank, then it actually just shoves all the little food particles and stuff in deeper and farther. So I had to dig all that out. Got a new cap for it because that one got a broken clip on it. I guess you would call it a clip. So got a new cap. And for temperatures, get below freezing, have both pipes wrapped in heat tape. One of it, as you can see, this one I don't use. I was just too lazy to pull it off, so I wrapped a new one around it. But I use that to try to keep it from freezing. Also have a little space heater. It's typically pointed that way. But this, I don't know how many people watch the little shorts videos, but I had to use body warmers to defrost it one time. I think it was somewhere around 11 degrees below zero or something like that. So what I did here wasn't enough. But next, we've got this door hatch, whatever you want to call it, that goes over that to keep it insulated. But as you can see, it's in pretty poor condition. I've got a few pieces here to fill in the openings there. And got some spray foam, so we'll go ahead and get that taken care of real quick. Spray foam. And just match them up. Okay, so there's that one. But then this one must be for that side. Yep, here we go. And this is going to have to do the way it is until we make a trip to Home Depot and get a new piece. But anyways, did have handles on them. Got one handle left. This one's broken. It's gonna sit just about like that. So what I'm gonna do is just put a new bead of foam going around it. Put it on there. Foam in the broken pieces. It'll be good until it gets replaced. And one thing you got to be careful with this stuff is it's solvent based, so these polystyrene panels will get eaten. So be sure to take that into account before you do any kind of work with them. This will act like a glue, but it'll also eat it, so there might be a chance that it won't hold as well as you want it to. I'm just going to set it flat on the ground. Put something on top of it so it holds it down. Go. Should do all right. And for those who don't know, it's how we haul our water. Drinking water, anyways. Yeah, so there we go. You have to let it sit overnight, let the foam cure and everything, but that'll work out until we get a new piece for it. And the next thing we do is go around, look for any gaps where air can get in. I know this is right at the ground, but we need to do the best we can. And I gotta find that piece there, which I think I know right where it is. Perfect. And in case you're wondering, yeah, we have all this framed in with 2x4s all reclaimed just to help support the foam, help support the insulation. And we're using the foam. I'm not going to do that. Do a little bit up here as you're going along. Always let off a few inches before you're done. And that way you won't have a bunch dripping out the tip. Unfortunately, when I did this side, I should have made it a little bit more narrow because you got this big gap here. Now the door actually does come up and meet this, but I mean there's really no seal there. You may get some weather stripping or something. You put a little thing sticking out here or something, I don't know. But right now that's just the way it is. Let's continue going around. Stuff like this is caused by wind. It does get really windy in here, and it's on an inlet somewhere underneath the travel trailer, so it blows out the sides, any weak spots. And I know the spray foam is ugly just hanging out. It gets faded by the sun, all that stuff. But this stuff works. That's really what we're looking at right here until we build the actual cabin. And the only downside to these skirts is I can't really get to that side just because how low that is. So we just do what we can. It's good. All the way across the top there. All right, so it looks like everything else looks pretty good. Furnace kicking on. Yeah, it's chilly. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to come over here and unhook the hose, unhook the little pump and everything, get this all drained out. And as far as I'll call it a pump box, as far as this goes, it's just going to be left out. I'm probably going to put it on top of the tank up here just to keep as much snow off of it as possible. The solar panel will keep the battery charged. And one of the reasons, I'll put a link, at the end of this video talking about these pumps here, but there's a lead acid battery in there. And one of the reasons why I chose the lead acid battery, besides cost, is as long as you keep it hooked up to the solar panel, it will not freeze at night. As long as you keep it charged up, it'll be fine. If you have a lithium battery, there's a little controller on the battery that if it drops below a certain temperature, I want to say it's like freezing or something, but if it drops below a certain temperature, it shuts off completely. You can't charge it, you can't discharge it. It's kind of like a safety thing. I don't know what they'll do, like long term, if the lithium battery will eventually die over winter if it's not kept warm, but I know it just simply stops working. So go ahead and get this unhooked, all the stuff emptied out, make sure there's no water in it. And here we go. So I don't know how much of this you can really see, but first thing to do, there's a valve here. Close it off, and we'll disconnect the 100-foot hose. There we go. And we'll disconnect the box from the tank. Oh, that water's cold. No, it was still open. It must have been closed before, open now. I'm just tilting this so the water drains out of the pump. Do that side, do this side. Everything looks good there. I'm going to hit the go. Now, one thing I could do as far as that pump goes is get some RV antifreeze or something and pump it into there. At the very least, that'll wash out any water. And now we'll go ahead and open the valve and just let this drain out right here. $275 gallons of water times 3 tanks. It's a lot of water, but none of this water is actually drinkable. We get it from the water treatment plant, free, so we can fill it up as much as we want. So yeah, that's what we do. Now the daunting task of making sure the water's out of the hose. Take that off and we just basically re-roll it up, lifting the hose up, to get the water to drain out as we go. Must be rolling it the wrong way. It's not cooperating. Other way. That's even worse. Okay, whatever. Just do our best. All right, got it all rolled up, ready to go. Then you put it away for the winter. That guy's draining. Pretty sad. Now we go on to the next one. Hopefully we'll get this thing done sooner rather than later. All right, second tank, same thing. Then we have this one here. This one has the cheapest hose. It likes to kink and stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to get the water out. If not, not a big deal if this one splits. It's really cheap. Don't really care about it. It's already kinked right there. All right. And we open this guy. What? 2, 4, 6, 750 gallons between those. And now we move to the inside. All the windows get plastic. The bedroom itself, where I'm at, is just gets the plastic and the 1.5-inch aluminum foil backed insulation. But the rest of the windows get the plastic itself. And yeah, if you want to know more about the insulation we use for skirting, go ahead and tap the video on the screen. And until next time, keep kicking up dust.